What's going on, guys? This is episode 19 of the Market Podcast. I am Wesley, the one, the only, now new and improved playing video games. I'm back on the podcast, man. We're here.
He's right. We're almost at the big 2-0.
Yeah.
The 2 tens of episodes.
We out here.
My name's Haig.
What it is, it's your boy Young Blurriest Biscuit in the Batch, aka Young Boobus Batch. You know, better than the mother niggas. Shout out to the mother niggas.
Get the mother niggas. What?
I don't know. And I'm Nico.
Bars.
You're Nico with a G.
Forget Nigo.
That's what he said.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say with a K.
No. Why would you spell Nico with a K?
K-N-I-K-O. What are you, stupid?
Anyway. Yeah. Did I tell you? I'm playing video games now.
You're not.
Like concurrently.
What are you playing?
I'm playing Gears of War right now. 5. Good game, actually. I'm enjoying myself.
Good. Gears of War is good.
I'm playing. I was playing Jedi Fallen Order until I realized that I really shouldn't be playing 2 games at once right now. So I put that on the back burner.
Yeah. So you started playing the better game that is Gears of War, right, Nico?
Essentially. I'm playing Fighters. Was doing that this morning. And yeah, that's so far. Remains to be seen what else. Actually, no, that's not true because I'm going to play Control and Final Fantasy 15 after that. So yeah, we out here, man. We back on our bullshit. Yeah.
Let's see how long this shit lasts.
All it took was buying a $150 controller or something.
That's it. I bought a $150 controller and it's over.
I feel like you did just so you could tell Addy, fuck you, I'm using it.
Partly, but I don't know. It wasn't just to spite him, but like part of it was just like, well, yeah, I mean, I have to use the controller now.
Yeah, true.
So it was just like, all right, what games do I got? I got some games that I haven't been playing. Okay. And then I also got Game Pass with the Xbox controller. Yeah, so I have that for a while.
Comes with a 14-day trial.
Then I was just kind of looking through and I was just like, maybe I'll just $15 a month. I got Netflix for games basically. And I just picked some shit out. And that's what I'm doing now. And so now I'm a video game boy.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
Where did he go?
I have no idea. But it doesn't matter anymore.
He went to the anime realm. The weeb realm.
The weeb realm.
That's what that's called. I'm gonna rename my Discord that.
The weeb realm?
The weeb realm.
Oh. Realm. Wait, what is it right now?
It's the anime niggas.
Oh yeah, no, that's a lot better. The weeb realm.
All right, we can get started. I'm gonna change the name on that. We can get started.
For any new members here, we are Black Market Gaming, and this is the Market Podcast, where the 4 of us and occasionally a guest sit around this table and Nico behind the camera and talk about games, anime, memes, any other cool shit you can think of for about an hour or 2 every week. Did I say week? I didn't put a weekly part in there, so there. I gotta write that in there.
Me and Nico are game design boys. These 2 aren't.
Yes, sir.
They're posers.
I film.
I make sure that your servers don't crash.
You want to film stuff?
No, I film stuff.
I make sure that your servers don't crash for your online.
It's not exactly what I want right now.
And the phone's shaky.
I'm doing. It's not me.
I guess, yeah, anybody playing anything else interesting? Leslie's obviously already talked about what he's doing.
I'm out here. I told you.
And Nico's still playing Odyssey.
So last week...
I don't even want to hear this, bro.
No. Last week, I said that I had already put 20 hours in when I first got the game, back at the end of 2018 when the game came out. And then at last week's podcast, I had said, I think I said I put 40 hours in. So I was at a total like 60 hours. This past week, I've put another 50 hours in. And I just now finished everything in the main game.
Oh my god.
So now I'm getting to the 2 DLCs, which will take me like another 30 hours or something. So at next week's podcast, in episode 20, I will give you, I will keep you up to date on that, what's happening with that.
The weeb realm.
You're crazy.
Well, yeah, that's, that game has so much.
My timer's not started, by the way. Oh, God.
Bow.
There's a big ass. Turn that camera over so we can see ourselves.
I want to see it.
There we go. Oh,
It's right in my face.
That's what she said.
Yep.
The funny thing is, you could have got the more expensive version that comes with both main characters.
Also, my timer's
Wrong.
not.
It's probably
my
400.
timer's not going.
Well, whose fault is that now?
Is my shit recording?
Huh?
Just to check.
I mean, everything's
Yeah.
recording. It's just-
That. That's
He's talking about the
okay.
timer.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah.
me, I'm playing TFT, and I will say, once you play TFT ranked and you get used to that, and then you go back to Norm's TFT, you're pretty much just like, wow, all of you suck. All of you, like, of the 8 of us, 4 of you are going after the same build. So I'm just free to go after this. And then you all
Exactly.
wonder how I got so strong.
Yeah.
And then the fighters update, which I thought came out today or tomorrow, but actually came out yesterday. And then Kefla comes out tomorrow. She gonna be on my team. She some people got her early, tried some stuff out with her. She's freaking clean. Anyway, let's get into it.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I've really been playing anything different or really anything. Actually, I haven't been playing games that much this last week.
You're the new Wesley. Congratulations.
I sucked all your.
All your goo energy. Your gooming energy.
Don't say that.
I gotta cheat. I gotta
There's a phenomenon.
finish off my classes first. Then
There's a phenomenon called the gooning.
Welcome to Black Market Gooming.
Sure. All right. This
Nigga, that was-
podcast.
Nigga, that was all up in my ear.
just like.
I thought he was gonna say shh.
That's all up in my ear canals.
So yeah, this podcast is gonna have a lot of me reading things, but I'm gonna try to limit it where I can, because there's just a lot of things to go over, a lot of statements about things that have happened in the industry. So, and that's usually where all the information comes from. So we're gonna jump right into it. I think we got a 9. We have a 9.
We have 9 windows this time.
We have 9 windows.
Jesus.
Yes.
They just keep going. I don't know what's happening. I walk into the shop and it's just 9 windows.
Well, I don't know about
we had 7 last week.
I don't know about y'all, but when I log onto my computer,
Could have been the
I've-
Microsoft Store.
I've had Windows 10 for a while, so y'all probably got to update your shit.
We were on Windows 7.
Windows
yeah.
9's not even a thing, bro.
Yeah, we were on Windows 7.
Exactly.
just
So why
last
do y'all
week,
have it?
Unfortunately.
Why? Because we're the black market. We have all the shit that's not supposed to be.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, true.
All right.
All right, let's go window shopping. Let's see what's going on in the
First.
gaming news this week. We're recording this on Tuesday, by the way. We're a day late this week, so we have a little bit of extra news. You know.
Sure.
It's not fair.
All right. First things first. Sony suggests that the PS5 reveal is still happening sooner rather than later. This comes from Liam Croft over at Push Square. In a recent Sony earnings call, because everyone's having those right now. When asked about the PS5 and its reveal, Sony's senior executive vice president and CFO Hiroki Totoki responded, "When the time is right, we will disclose the new product. It's very difficult to really discuss this timing-wise, but as of today, we will provide the guidance at a time period which is comparable to the past. So we will not change the time schedule." That's obviously translated or something from Japanese.
Yeah.
But basically what they're saying is it's going to be similar reveal time-wise to the PS4's reveal, which happened in February of 2013. Obviously, it being the 25th of February
I was
now,
gonna say, well,
it's
Sony,
not
they're
happening this
running out.
month, but it's probably going to happen in March. That would be the
Okay.
assumption based on this.
Man, I hope so.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
trying
this is
to
really
see
talking
this console, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm tired.
I'm ready because, as we'll talk about later in the podcast, we know a lot about the Xbox right now.
Yes.
Not everything.
Yes.
We don't know the games. We don't know the specific specs. We don't know a few other things, but we know a lot about them now. Yeah, I mean, see, I'm looking forward to hopefully in March. That'd be my assumption. It'd be funny if they did it on February 29th. That's not gonna happen now, but be like, hey, it's Leap Day. Here's the PS5.
I know. They're stretching February out to its max.
It's like, hey, by the way, bow.
They're gonna do
Alright,
it.
bye.
They're gonna do it at 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, if they were gonna do that, they would have announced it like Monday or something.
Yeah.
And today's Tuesday, so I doubt it. All right. Next, which is a little bit more interesting. Platinum Games will have a major announcement on February 27th, February 26th in U.S. time, through Famitsu's weekly magazine column, which is a new gaming website / magazine in Japan.
So we finally connecting these dots, man.
Exactly. They teased this in last week's edition of the column. So this is coming from Sal Romano over at Gamatsu. Gamatsu is traditionally reports on translating what's in Famitsu, if you guys don't know that.
Okay.
Because a lot of good stuff comes from Famitsu. So this is the next reveal in the Platinum 4 campaign that we've been talking about for a few weeks now, where they first announced the Wonderful 101 remastered. I was originally going to say I think this is it, but then I actually went to the website and it says on the English version, it says February 26th, 2019. And then if you go to the Japanese version, it says 27th. So yeah, any idea what this could be? I think
All I could think of is
there's a couple things.
Nier and Bayonetta, right?
Yeah, those are the two things that come to mind. We just got the Bayonetta / Vanquish remastered bundle that just came out, I think, this past Friday. And then, yeah, we talked about Nier could be a possibility.
Nier Automata 2.
Because it's the 10th anniversary of the first Nier game or something. So like that's a possibility. And then there's the fact that Bayonetta 3 hasn't been talked about in a significant way in a while. Every month, every month someone's asked Kamiya about Bayonetta 3, and he's just like, it's going well. That's it. He's just like, yeah, it's going smoothly.
It's like, calm down.
We'll share more when we have to share.
If you plan on asking that nigga every month when designing a game, you better be committed to that shit.
Exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Bayonetta's on the other consoles too, not just on like Switch still, right?
The first Bayonetta's on everything. Bayonetta 2 and going to be Bayonetta 3 are not. They are.
So we already know that
Nintendo.
it's not going to be on anything else.
Yeah, at least right now. It's
'cause I was
possible
gonna say-
you see Bayonetta 2 come to other platforms.
Because I was about to say, Bayonetta 3 on like the Series X and the PS5,
Yeah, that'd be insane.
that'd be crazy.
Right now, all we have to work with is Bayonetta 1.
Alrighty.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. And then we still got 2 more things on that Platinum 4 thing to get revealed.
They're going to be taking over Star Fox, and they're going to be making a new game.
Yo.
That would be a good thing, probably.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That'd probably be a great idea.
It's not going to happen.
I
Star
doubt
Fox,
it.
you can finally get out of your starship.
Oh, man.
Like,
But yeah, I still think that one of those 4 things is definitely something Nier related.
Think about Nier mechanics in Star Fox. Oh my god.
Nigga, yo.
Oh my god.
If they made Fox do anything close to what 2B can do,
Oh no.
that's gonna be my favorite game forever. That's gonna be my favorite game for life.
That'd be awesome if they did
Be
it.
like, yo, Last of Us Part 3 is coming out. That shit looks clean. You know they perfected VR. You could actually be in this. Is it Star Fox?
It doesn't
Made by
matter.
Platinum?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm curious, and it's probably not this one, but if they were to do something like that with Star Fox, it would probably be through a Nintendo Direct, because Nintendo doesn't usually like revealing big things that aren't at a Direct.
Yeah.
So they probably forced them to wait for a Direct. So it's definitely not going to be this first thing
See,
or the
now I've
second
been
thing.
thinking
rather.
about it, where they incorporate his Smash moveset into what he can do.
Because he's a fighter now. You getting out of your starship.
And the only game where they actually had some form of hand-to-hand combat was Star Fox Adventures, and that game was penis.
Yeah.
Star Fox Assault, you actually had that thing on you.
Alright.
All right, number 3. The long-troubled Uncharted movie begins filming in less than 4 weeks, according to actor Tom Holland, who is playing young Nathan Drake in the upcoming film.
I forgot about this.
This information about this comes from 2 articles by Nathan Birch and Alicio Palumbo at
Palumbo.
WCCF Tech. So there's 2 quotes that I want to read from Tom Holland here. One says, because it's more information than just that. One says, I think what Uncharted offers that most video game films don't is that it's an origin story to the games. So if you played the games, you haven't seen what's going to happen in the film. And if you haven't played the games, you're going to enjoy the film because it's information that everyone else is getting at the same time. But I'm super excited to make that movie, and it's been a long time coming. I read the newest draft of the script on the way over here, and it's one of the best scripts I've ever read. It really, really jumps off the page. I think Mark Wahlberg is going to kill it as Sully, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
So this is like new content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which I think you could have kind of figured out once they said that that Tom Holland was going to play young Nathan Drake. We kind of you figure that we might get something new, because I think you might see some young Nathan Drake in things in like parts of 4 or something like that. Or
you do.
I think in Golden Abyss is the earliest in the timeline, if I recall. The one on Vita.
The whole thing about the script doesn't surprise me because that was one of the things that Uncharted, like the entire series, was praised for.
Yeah.
How its story.
I don't know who the writer of this is.
Its script was very like organic and very like, this is how, if this were if this were like a real life scenario, this is how people would talk.
Yeah.
Which for some reason video games cannot do.
Oh, it's very hard.
You have these beautiful stories, and yet when it comes down to casual conversation, they're just like, how do I talk to how do I talk to another human being?
Yeah, and I think this is the good way to do it. I don't think you should just adapt. Like you don't want to just adapt Uncharted 1 into a movie.
No,
it's never a good idea. I think this is a great idea. And he's speaking high praise of this script.
Yeah.
And that's Tom Holland. That's the Spider Boy. So
it's Monsieur Spooderman.
This was with an interview with IGN, by the way. These are coming from. And then the other quote is about the actual filming part, which is, he says, if I'm honest, one of my favorite video games ever is Uncharted 4. Is Uncharted 4 unbelievable. And lots of the inspiration from the film has come from that game in particular. So yeah, we start shooting in like 4 weeks. Mark Wahlberg is going to be amazing as Sully. The stunt department that we have out there in Berlin have done an amazing job already prepping the stunts, and it's going to be an exciting one. And then this is basically the same thing again. He said there was definitely a lot of inspiration that came from the games, but it's a very young, fresh take on Nathan Drake, because obviously we didn't get to meet him all that much when he was younger. But it's a pretty awesome movie, and it's global. We travel the world, we see some amazing places, and Mark Wahlberg and I are going to have a great summer together. I mean, he keeps mentioning Mark Wahlberg because he's playing Sully, which is his mentor in the game. They're like the two main characters, especially since you don't meet any of the female characters in the game, or that you meet in the games. I don't think he's ever met them when he was younger, so that's not part. So they're not part of this, if I recall.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two main guys. Cool. And they're supposed to be filming really soon, and then the movie's slated to come out March 5th of next year. So it could actually happen. The interesting thing is the movie still doesn't have a proper director, because the 6th director dropped out a few months, like last month.
Come on, bro.
I'm not believing it until I actually see an actual trailer. Even then, I'm still skeptical about it, because we saw a trailer for the Sly Cooper movie. Never heard from that thing since. Yeah,
I mean, like, I believe Tom Holland. I think he and Mark Wahlberg do a good job of their roles. I think he's probably right that the script is probably written pretty well. After that, though, it's just a matter of how's the actual story and how's the movie in general.
How's this movie going to be put together?
Yeah, and is it going to be put together well? Because, like I said, they don't have a proper director right now, so there's not really someone to lead the vision yet. Hopefully, they just get somebody who's going to do a good job with it.
Yeah.
It may be really cool if they got just pull Neil Druckmann. He's good. He's pretty much done The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
He's got some free time.
I think I heard that.
There you go.
He's like,
I hate it.
God, I hate
it's so real.
I hate you and Wesley.
So now people are gonna start listening to us now. All right, number 4. Wesley, you're taking this one away.
Yeah, I got a little something spicy for you guys. All right, so I'm going to start off with this article headline. And the headline is Call of Duty's Warzone Battle Royale game will release in early March. Development sources have indicated to VGC. This article comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com, posted by Andy Robinson. So, yeah, the new Modern Warfare game is getting a battle royale called Warzone. And I wanted to put this in here because we got some interesting stuff here. So we got, first off, the battle royale mode will also be released as a standalone game for free, with the option for players to purchase and upgrade to the full version of Modern Warfare. So it's a way to get people back into Modern Warfare. They don't have to buy the full game. They can just do this. If they find this fun and go, maybe I'll try some Modern Warfare, they can upgrade.
I like that.
Yeah, and so also standard about like
That's really good though, because I love I like the shooting in this Modern Warfare game.
It feels really good.
Yeah, so it's like,
Feels so good.
I mean, like I love Apex right now. That's my battle royale that I play.
Yeah, because to me it's like if you added futuristic weapon, it's like good futuristic Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
All the guns feel really good to shoot, especially the L-Star that fucking melts your face.
Bro, that gun is stupid.
Like I said, they were 4 people shooting at me. I killed all of them.
Yeah, put
And
me
they
on.
got hit 3 or 4 times with the L-Star, not even in the head. And I'm like,
You get an L-Star and you get like Bloodhound's super, and you're solid. You're just gonna take out the whole team.
it's over.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, standard battle royale is support up to 200 players in a single match though.
Jesus,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
and it's a squad based player system. So because of the 200
So
up
it's
to 200.
So is it? So I guess this is going to be similar to Apex, maybe, where the focus is only having squads.
Yeah,
and not
because
having
there's so
solos.
many people.
Yeah.
from what I can, unless they mention it in there, I can imagine it's going to be 4 squads of 50. Not 4 squads, 50 squads of 4.
Oh yeah, probably. I would assume so. And I'm excited now.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, because Infinity War got some tricks up its sleeve.
You Kenyatta added Infinity War. Infinity War. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is still probably crossplay too.
Yeah. Also, so yeah, this is probably crossplay. I didn't see that in the article, so can't confirm that.
Yeah, but I'd
yeah.
imagine it is.
But yeah, if you're excited now, they got some tricks up their sleeve, man.
Oh boy.
So they're shaking it up, man. They're shaking up the current battle royale genre. The first of this is they're using what's called plunder, an in-game currency earned during matches by defeating enemies or completing missions. So plunder is a valuable resource which can be used to purchase gear in various locations in the middle of a match. So there's like shops and stuff that you can go to and buy guns and shit from.
Healthy.
All right. However, players defeated whilst holding plunder will drop the resource for enemy players to loot.
Healthy. So wait. So all right. Is it like only plunder will drop when you kill somebody, or is it plunder as well as like stuff that you just organically find?
I'd assume it's plunder and stuff you organically find too.
Yeah, probably.
And then next, or in addition to that, this risk-reward dynamic is further strengthened by its introduction of banks, which can be used to store collected plunder for future matches. So it's not just tied to that one game.
You know what's funny? I think Radical Heights had something like this. If you don't remember what that is, that's the battle royale that Boss Key Studios tried to kind of put out as a last ditch effort before they closed down. The guys that made Lawbreakers. I think they had a feature like that with a bank and stuff like that. If I recall correctly.
A little bit of a funny thing. For my, I think it was my concept development class. One of the things we had to do was make a logo and like think of like a studio name.
Yeah.
For like a company, and I was like, what if I named it Big Boss Key? And I made up this whole thing. I was like, I could use this in the future. And wait a minute, I should Google this. And there was the game studio who had a similar name, and then there's the people who I think they're the people. They're the people who organize some big gaming event every year, and I'm like, God damn it!
That sucks. Big boss fee's kind of wavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's simple, it's easy, man.
But yeah, so there's the banks, but in the process of storing your plunder, it will alert everybody nearby of your presence inside the bank with the valuable loot. So it's a risk to store your shit. It's a whole gamble. In another interesting genre twist, death isn't necessarily the end of end in Warzone. So that's one of my main gripes about the genre as a whole. Is like you die, okay.
Yeah.
Well, next game.
So is it like you can revive people?
Close. So here we go.
This
So
is different. I'm just reading it right
so death isn't necessarily the end in Warzone. Instead, defeated players can be sent to the Gulag, a prison where they'll compete for a chance to respawn onto the battlefield. Once inside the Gulag, players will wait their turn for a 1v1 battle against another player, with the winner returning to the battle royale.
All right, that's clean. That's clean.
This
I
is
like
something
that.
crazy.
Yeah, so
I like that.
that's always
Hey,
like
Infinity War, what you up to, man?
Maybe I'm in here.
This is some evolution of the battle royale.
That's
genre.
what I'm
I
saying.
like that.
So yeah, that's basically all the information on this new battle royale coming early March. So I might hop in.
I'm not gonna lie, that's clean as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much.
This is all confirmed, or this is all leak? I think this is
I
leak,
think
isn't
it's. It was
development sources.
Yeah,
so it's a leak.
So it's a leak.
Okay, well, I'm assuming that that's true.
Because that was a lot of specific information.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Christ! All right, I'm excited. I'm excited, especially since it's free.
Now my question is,
Now I have to buy
when
Modern
you
Warfare.
die, you drop like I kill Wesley, he drops his shit, right?
yeah.
If he's in the gulag, do they just like give him the same weapon
That
to
I had
duel
that
against
question
someone
too.
with?
I had that question too.
Or does he have like a phantom version of whatever he had?
I was wondering, I had an idea. I was wondering, what if they did a thing where, like, you're in the 1v1 in the gulag, and there's a weapon in the middle of the room, and you have to race for it. That sort of thing.
There's also what you could also do is, you're in the gulag. There's like an NPC who like goes, all right, it's your turn. He just gives you a revolver with 6 shots in it.
True.
Gives you a revolver with 6 shots, and you're in the arena. If both of you waste 6 shots, you gotta knife him.
Yeah.
This is
That's pretty dope, too.
interesting.
That's kind of like a gladiator thing.
Around, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
That's clean.
I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to share
That's
that with
clean.
y'all people.
That's clean. Nice.
I didn't do that earlier, so.
Forget. Ha.
All that hot breath.
All right. Number 5. The new Microsoft Flight Simulator will include all airports on Earth,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
ranging from countryside airstrips to international airports. This is according to the developer, Asobo Studio, and this is coming from Jordan Serrani over at IGN. So the total number of airports was not disclosed, but according to the CIA in 2013, there were over 40,000 airports in the world, and I imagine that number hasn't changed very much since then.
Jeez.
37,000 of those airports have been manually edited to ensure accuracy, from the size and surface material of the runway to the precise location of the plane's parking spots.
That's so crazy, bro.
80 of the most played and busiest airports are even more detailed, featuring their official names for taxiways and more, quote, accurate surface definition. And then finally, an even higher tier, dubbed the most iconic airports, have been dressed up to reach a new level of realism in flight simulation. These airports feature unique building and props matching reality, and terraformed landscapes that, quote, nest the airports in their real environment. So this is going to be very
now?
serious.
What are we doing right
So
now?
you can land at any airport in the entire world that you want, and some will be more detailed than others, but they'll still look like themselves.
Okay.
So forget okay.
Cheap.
Yeah, I mean, this game is supposed to be crazy. Like I saw, I'm seeing some people talk about like this
we
game
watched
feels. It looks really good, and then it feels like a cool thing. It's got
experience.
It's got a lot going for it. Yeah, I mean, it's a simulator. It's not just a game. You have to actually learn how to fly the plane. So yeah, that's coming out sometime this year, I believe. So check that out when it does, because it's coming out for PC and Xbox Series X and Xbox One.
Get out of my ear with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Number 6. Sources speaking to Kotaku confirmed that another unannounced Star Wars game was canceled last year.
Oh, man.
So now, here's the thing. All these games are actually related. I'm going to read this article real quickly. It's not very long. Last spring, Electronic Arts canceled a planned spin-off of its popular Star Wars Battlefront series, the third Star Wars game that the publisher had axed since 2017. This latest game, codenamed Viking, was originally envisioned for release in fall 2020 alongside the next generation of consoles, but once it became clear to EA's executives that the timeline was unrealistic, Viking was no more. Let's see here.
I want to know why
wow.
was project named Viking?
The backstory
for
of
a Star Wars
Viking.
game.
I mean, it's just a code name.
I know, but
Doing that for a reason.
The backstory of Viking is itself worthy of a Star Wars intro scroll. It started off a long time ago in a galaxy far away, owned at the EA-owned studio Visceral Games, which spent 2 years developing a Star Wars heist game called Ragtag under the well-known director Amy Hennig. In October of 2017, EA shut down Visceral and canceled Ragtag. We all know about that. That was a big thing. Although it said that Ragtag's art assets would be shipped up to Canadian game studio EA Vancouver for a brand new open world Star Wars game. That second game, Orca, was in development all throughout 2018 until it too was canceled by EA. Kotaku broke the news of Orca's cancellation last year. At the time, we reported that EA Vancouver was spinning up a smaller Star Wars project to replace it, one that would be planned for release in fall 2020 alongside the next-gen PlayStation and Xbox.
But
we talked about that as well.
I need to know what's go with the. I need to know what's go with these project names. That's like making something close to Stardew Valley and naming it Project Toothpaste.
Jeez,
that's terrible.
Like,
Electronic Arts executives like to call it a financial hole that needed filling. Talking about the release schedule for the next gen consoles, basically. This third game was called Viking, and it was designed to be as a spin-off of the Star Wars Battlefront series with open world elements. The plan was also for EA to bring in yet another studio to help out, Criterion, who we just recently talked about. Oh. Based in London, England, which was previously best known for the racing games like Burnout and Need for Speed, but had in recent years expanded to more genres. EA Vancouver spent some time designing ideas and prototypes for Viking, and Criterion came aboard soon after. That was when the problem started. Although Criterion was, on paper, the lead studio, the logistical challenges of cross-country game development made that a difficult proposition. As one person involved with the game said, too many cooks was a running theme.
Okay.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Criterion leads had an ambitious vision for the game, aiming to put a strong focus on story and characters. It soon became clear that Viking would never be finished in just a year and a half, and EA's executives had no interest in extending the timeline. Viking was canceled in the first half of 2019, although this news has gone unreported until now. That fall 2020 financial hole will go unfilled. So that's it.
Great.
We know now that Criterion took back the Need for Speed series, we just talked about recently. And then, on top of that, the only things we have right now, it says today, EA has 2 Star Wars games in development, a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order at Respawn, and a smaller, more unusual project at EA Motive in Montreal, Canada, which I think I've also mentioned once before on the podcast. So, they're not having a very good history with Star Wars. Other than Jedi Fallen Order coming out and being a good game.
You could just stop.
I mean, what's really the problem here? I need to know. Like,
well, as they just said, they tried to make a game with 2 studios across the world from each other, which does not go well.
I get that, but like,
EA doesn't know what they're doing.
It's not
exactly.
It's not impossible.
Why is that even a problem? Why do we start this? Like, just get a studio, make a Star Wars game.
Yeah, I don't know.
They can't really outsource.
They should have just given it
Stuff like
to
that for
Criterion
games.
and then just been like, here's what we want, make a Star Wars game. We're not gonna touch you for 3 years. Go figure it out.
I'm saying.
Yeah, the EA executives don't know what they're doing.
Clearly.
They're too business.
I mean, because you know how much money's been wasted
They don't know the industry.
with the complications of ragtag, which we've discussed. We discussed at length. I think on the stream when that was originally canceled, because that was back in 2017, and then like that had a whole bunch of issues. They gave the assets to EA Vancouver that they were supposed to turn that project into something else, and then they wasted money on that, and that got canceled, and then they did this, and now this is canceled. It's like how much time and money you've been wasting, man. Oh Jesus! I mean, you remember when the Star Wars Battlefront 2 controversy was going on,
Yeah.
and Disney was like, EA, you better not fuck up again. And they made that game better, but Jesus Christ.
You spilled the milk one more time. I'll show you what for.
They just need to, I don't know, they need to do something. They need to go someplace.
They need to sit outside and reflect.
Yes, sir.
The whole company just
Yes,
sits
sir.
outside the company building and just look at this guy.
Yes, sir.
Number 7, Randy Pitchford, big guy over there at Gearbox, has announced that Eli Roth will be the director in an upcoming Borderlands movie that is in development at Arad Productions and Lionsgate.
Oh, Lionsgate, wow.
This is coming from Otto Kratky over at DualShockers. So Eli Roth has been the producer on several films, including Hostel, Knock Knock, and The Green Inferno. I've never heard of either of those.
Yeah,
But apparently he's a good producer.
I'll take the article's word on that.
So here's what he has to say about the role. He said, quote, "I'm so excited to dive into the world of Borderlands, and I could not be doing it with a better script, producing team, and studio. I have a long, successful history with Lionsgate. I feel like we have grown up together and that everything in my directing career has led to a project of this scale and ambition. I look forward to bringing my own energy, ideas, and vision to the wild, fun, and endlessly creative world of the game. Randy Pitchford and everyone at Gearbox have been incredibly supportive of my ideas. It really feels like a perfect storm of creators coming together. We are out to make a new classic, one which the fans of the game will love, but also one which will find new audiences globally." There will be more information at Gearbox's PAX East panel on February 27th.
Which would have been yesterday if you're watching this on Friday.
Yeah. That's assuming they don't pull out of PAX East, which I'm assuming they won't. And then beyond that, the article here has some good information about what he's done before with his history and all things gory and horrific. Picking Eli Roth as a director seems like a good choice, considering that the world of Borderlands is very bloody and terrifying in its own comedic way. Chaotic and everything. So it sounds like they picked the right guy to direct this movie. Apparently they already have a cast and a creative team that have been revealed. I didn't know about this. Is this new? Like, is this a new announcement? Or have we heard about a Borderlands movie in the past?
I don't remember.
I haven't heard anything.
We've heard of people going, "I'm interested in making a Borderlands movie," but no one ever capitalized on it.
Yeah, I think that's what I recall. Filming is set to begin sometime this year. It says the movie already has a standout cast and a creative team working behind the scenes. I don't even know who those people are, but it says Craig Mazin or whatever, creator and writer of HBO's Chernobyl series, is writing the movie's script, and Randy Pitchford is an executive producer. So, yeah, interesting.
So I'm not going to keep my hopes up at all.
This movie has to be rated R, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Guaranteed. If it isn't, it's not going to be good.
If it wasn't like rated R, then the movie's going to suck.
Exactly.
But
By the way, I just looked at this payload, and that's a big boy.
But that's
Yeah,
a big
we're
goal.
going to try to skim through a lot of that, but we'll get to that later.
Borderlands is hard to make a movie on.
Yeah.
It works as a game because
Hey.
You can do it, it's just going to have to be done right. You have to really know what you're
I can't
doing.
even see how they would do it right in a movie. I How do they do it?
Yeah, what are we doing in this Borderlands movie?
Because if it's like a retelling of one of the games, all right, cool, I guess.
That's a good point. I don't know what they're gonna do.
If they're doing their own thing,
what's the story here,
which they very
exactly?
much could,
Yeah.
what would it be of? Is it an origin story? Because they could definitely do that, even though they only have like 4 voice clips to go off of with like each character regarding their, their backstory.
Yeah,
or
they're
whatever.
not very broad.
The comedy is the comedy of Borderlands has kind of been gameplay was taken into account when you do it. So like at the beginning of Borderlands 2 when there's like an electric gate in your way and Claptrap tells you to just run through it. And you almost die and Claptrap goes, "Oh right. You're not a robot." I forget about that sometimes. Like that's funny, but that has to do with gameplay.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's going to be a difficult movie to nail.
Every time I think of they could try this, I'm just like, oh, I can't think of any way they can do this where it's not stupid, like bad stupid.
You really have to just embrace the craziness and the absurdity of that world.
At the same time, you have to understand it.
Yeah.
It's not just like they just throw shit at the wall and they go, "I think that's funny."
I mean, Randy Pitchford is at least an executive producer, so he will oversee the project, and he's the man at the helm over there. So he can kind of direct where it should go. And
yeah, when it comes to like
it should make sense.
Borderlands, when it comes to like video game comedy, Borderlands I think is at like the top of like this is pure fucking madness. It's funny madness, but there's a method to this madness, and if you try to replicate it, probably gonna fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably should do something along the lines of how Birds of Prey was, where it's very like flashy and music video-esque, and like just things are
exactly
not as much. Not to say that the story just needs to go
you don't
balls to the wall everywhere.
You don't want to
but
have to think too much.
Yeah, it's like just a simple storyline.
It's got to be fun
and just have it be fun.
Yeah, that's what Borderlands is. None of the Borderlands games have been overly complicated.
Exactly.
Except for maybe the Telltale one.
Yeah.
But that's all story.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, well, so I guess we'll see.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
If it's starting to film later this year, then I assume that it could be out by the end of next year or the beginning of 2022.
You would die to get that. I'd hope you didn't, because you'd die if you did that.
No, I'm a god. I don't die.
All right. Number 8. Next-gen consoles and cloud gaming will be the focus of this year's Tokyo Game Show. This is coming from Ernout Van der Velde. Sure, I don't know what that person's name is. Is that like what is that? Okay.
Something from Europe. That's all you need
Exactly,
to know.
something from Europe.
Spain.
It's a foreign name.
This is from WCCF Tech as well. So a press release from the Computer Entertainment Suppliers Association, which is the company that runs the event, said in part, the theme of TGS 2020 is, quote, "The future touches gaming first." Games are the most updated this is translated, remember, are the most updated and accessible means to experience the emerging technologies that will unlock new possibilities for the future. With the theme of this year, the event expects to provide an opportunity for people to touch and play the latest games and immerse themselves in the feel of an exciting future that is just around the corner. Featuring novel game consoles for the next generation, TGS 2020 is sure to attract even more attention from around the world. The event will focus on the full-fledged launch of cloud gaming and its advanced gaming environment as the start of 5G services for commercial use, and will boost the unprecedented gaming experience brought by new platforms. Moreover, TGS 2020 will host the area where visitors can explore, quote, new frontiers of games through crossing over with education, fashion, arts, and other industries. This makes sense because TGS takes place from September 24th to 27th, so it's going to be a lot closer to when we actually get the new consoles. Yeah, cool stuff. Not too much to discuss there. Not too surprising either. Cloud gaming is interesting that they're focusing on that a lot on that too. I mean, I guess cloud gaming is starting to pick up. GeForce Now exists now, which we're going to talk a little more about later. Stadia is trying to find its footing. xCloud is probably going to launch fully this year.
I think as an event, it's good to get a little ahead of the curve there.
Yeah.
just to get people to try stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't get canceled because of the coronavirus, which we will talk about more about that stuff later.
Yeah.
In the payload. All right. And then finally, number 9. Another week, another Sony patent.
Dude.
So this time, it appears the DualShock 5 may be able to use, or be able to detect, I can't use words, biofeedback by measuring your heart rate and sweat secretion.
Why?
Secretion.
I think it's secretion.
Why?
Viewer
So-
secretion.
what
is a
game
device.
here?
So Nico, put up that picture real quickly. So yeah,
This one?
yeah, that one, and then there's just that one actually. That's the important
Hey,
one.
look, Sony, let's be clear. If you're using my actual heart rate for horror games, I'm dead. I don't know what you're expecting.
Nigga, you don't even need to use my heart rate. to kill me in a
Exactly.
horror
Just
game.
kill me.
So it sounds like this is more likely to be in use for things like VR experiences. So it's kind of interesting you see them on the DualShock here, because I almost would assume that they would be on the new VR controllers. That I didn't put it in the news this week, but there's also a patent for a controller, a VR controller that has like finger tracking like the Index does. So this is a thing. Here's a couple quotes from the thing. It says biofeedback information is used to select buttons between one or more options presented in a piece of content. Where did I see options? Select between one or more options presented without the user having to provide further input. There is a desire in computer gaming to provide an immersive and highly interactive experience for players so as to enhance the enjoyment of the player. This has become of particular interest with the increasing availability of head-mounted displays. So they're talking about, VR headsets. And then on the right here, in this picture that you guys can't see because you don't need to see it, it's all right. It says collect biofeedback information, output biofeedback information, transmit biofeedback information to processing device, update biofeedback information using captured images, and modify user experience using biofeedback information. So this probably won't happen, but it's kind of interesting anyway.
Sure.
It's actually very
I also don't
interesting.
want Sony selling my data. I don't want them selling my biofeedback data, please.
Yeah.
So don't do that. I think.
That's what that trailer was about that we watched last week.
Of course. Oh, can we talk about that real quick?
Oh yeah, what you had the idea?
Yeah, I had an idea.
Wesley had an idea about what that was about.
First of all, I watch the podcast constantly because I'm on it, editing it, and then listening to it at work. And so, like, on my third round of the podcast, I was sitting there just like, well, what was that trailer? What is it? And I was thinking, and then I just realized, oh, it might be cloud gaming. Because, like, how cloud gaming works generally is just like there's a server or set of machines in some place, bumfuck wherever, and they're running your games. And that was kind of what the trailer was, where, like, weirdly enough, there's hearts attached to PS4s. But if you skip over that,
It's like a server.
yeah, it's like a server room in this, like, cave in Russia.
Yes.
For whatever reason. But, like, nonetheless, it's kind of like that. So I'm thinking maybe Sony's getting into the cloud gaming space soon.
Yeah, I mean, well, they are in the cloud gaming space, but it's like they might go all in.
To compete. Why else would they do that weird trailer? I just...
It's a fair point. I think you might be right.
I don't, like... I
You
don't
do
think
it
that
somehow.
this is just something they put out just to put out. There's just no way. This has to mean something.
I don't. Yeah, because there's a lot of production in the trailer.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of production. It's like, all right. I mean, I guess. Yeah.
They didn't just do that just to do it.
And yeah, I think that if this were to become a reality, I think it would more likely be for VR than anything. This whole biofeedback thing. But I don't know how people feel about this. Don't take my data, please. All right, that's it for the window shopping section, ladies and gentlemen. We have one trailer that I'd like to watch today, which is it's a pretty quick one. So apparently there's a new Transformers, I think, show, or is it a movie? I don't know.
I think it's a show.
Coming to Netflix this year. And yeah, let's take a quick look. It's about 2 minutes.
1, 2, 3.
Cybertron is in ruins. I fear war is lost. Optimus, at this moment we must focus on surviving as a race, not winning a war.
Yet again, the Autobots have escalated this conflict to the point where we must answer their aggression with force. I empower you, Decepticons, to bring this painful chapter of our history to a close.
We are facing extinction at the hands of the Decepticons.
Cybertron needs strength. My strength.
Oh my god.
Cybertron needs freedom. We must not allow Megatron to find the Allspark. With it, he will destroy everything we are.
You're fighting to win, and that's gonna get you all killed.
The Autobots fight for the day we no longer have to fight.
This was not the life I imagined for us.
It's a life worth fighting for.
Actually, this might be a movie series because it says trilogy.
That's true. It looks cool. The writing seems kind of simple.
Yeah.
But I mean, Transformers is traditionally
They went back to the old designs too.
Yeah, this is a very like original thing. What was I gonna say? It reminds me of like a cell shaded video game.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be forgettable as fuck.
It might be.
It's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be garbage.
I mean, maybe the action will be really cool, and then so that'll kind of like make it more interesting than the writing, and then it'll be cool that way.
I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It just looks.
there's probably gonna be more
good.
trailers,
It's
but
fine.
trailers are supposed to like impress you. They're supposed to make you want to consume the product. I did not see a single impressive thing in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a big fan of Transformers, you're probably gonna watch that.
Yeah, there's like
That's how Transformers has been
Yeah.
for a long time too. If you're really a fan of Transformers, then you're gonna watch a lot of the content.
yeah, you're pretty much gonna watch anything.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the movies they've come out with. At this point, this is probably the best thing you've seen in
Yeah.
years.
A lot of the Transformers media has really like degraded.
It's like sci-fi Fast and Furious. Like what are we doing now? What are we
Yeah.
doing at this point? Whatever, just fucking do something.
I've been saying forever though, they need to make a live action movie of the war for Cybertron. They really do. Because I think that would be so sick. And,
Yeah, and
like,
not doing what they did, which is bring humans into all of it.
yeah, I mean, like the whole human aspect that has been what Transformers is, but the fall of Cybertron and the war for Cybertron has always been like a prequel, like a spin-off piece almost in most media, like the games or some of the shows. But the main setting of Transformers is on Earth, as the what do we call the whole race? The Cybertronians? I don't know, fucking whatever. Anyway, them coexisting with humans.
Yeah.
So I've been saying for a while they need to make a live action of the war and fall of Cybertron. I think that would be so dope.
I don't know much about Transformers. I just thought it was cool how they transformed from like cars to like giant robots. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like that idea. But do something with Bionicle.
Oh,
I always-
It's true, actually.
I always like them more than Transformers. They look cooler. They had that badass trailer commercial that I will never forget. That was the song that was like to the song "Move Along."
Yeah.
Yo, whenever that commercial came on, I was like, "This is the only commercial I care about." That thing was so cool. Yeah.
Just a little tidbit.
Free the Bionicles.
Miles Luna is playing a character in this.
Yes.
In
Miles
this-
Luna from Rooster Teeth.
Yeah,
is
he's playing the voice of Teletran 1. I think that's the name.
He's playing two people.
Sure.
Is he?
Let me get-
That's what he announced on his Twitter.
Yeah, he announced. Hold on, let me go to his Instagram because he said.
Doesn't I don't know which movie it is, maybe like the second or third Transformers movie, doesn't it have some like flashback scene to the fall of Cybertron?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But if you've never
But that's
seen
what I'm
the
saying.
whole
That's
thing-
like it's all
that's all
been
you get.
flashbacks or spin-off little mini series or.
Like, hey, wouldn't it
yeah.
be cool if we did this? All right, now back to this. It's like,
Exactly.
For those who don't know, Miles Luna is the director and lead writer for animation at Rooster Teeth. He's also a seasoned voice actor, so he's also a.
it's pronounced Miles before.
Maybe they don't want to do. Maybe they don't want to do that because they want big name actors in the movies to get people to come see it. Because if it's just like Transformers itself with people voice acting, then
That's true. That's true.
Probably.
He's Cliff
Nah,
Jumper
it's
and
appealing.
Teletron 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
This is mad random. Back to the Borderlands movie. I feel like in a Borderlands movie, you have to have sirens in it. You
the
kind of just
sirens.
have
Oh,
to.
okay.
Yeah.
If there is one thing that you do with the sirens, please understand. And this ain't even trying to. There are two things sirens supposed to be. Number one, supposed to be badass. Supposed to be badass females. Number two,
Equality.
they're gorgeous. That's literally the descriptions of sirens for
Yeah.
Borderlands.
I mean,
So if you don't do it, movie's trash.
that's what a siren is in like mythology too. They gotta look nice.
Lilith, badass as fuck. Maya, don't even get me started, nigga. Anyway, I didn't mean to take up, not much time.
No, that's all right.
Next.
All right, that's it for the trailers. We don't got any entertainment and tech news today. I guess that was kind of entertainment news on its own. Because we got a big payload.
We got a big.
A big boy to drop today.
We could probably let's try to get through this
let's
as much as we can.
let's
So this
roll through
podcast
this
ain't gonna
one.
be 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean this is the biggest thing we have left, obviously, because
Yeah.
after this is just a news blast, so we can get through pretty quickly.
Yeah, the news blast is definitely just a fart.
All right, we got three things. First is first. Number one is first.
I should hope so.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure though.
Bethesda is following Activision Blizzard in pulling its games off of NVIDIA's GeForce Now gaming service.
Oh God. What's? Oh. Okay, just why? we'll go with that first.
Okay, so real quickly, the move was announced by NVIDIA this past week, but no further details as to why were given.
Okay, never mind.
It is assumed to be the same reason as Activision Blizzard's.
So they can
And,
focus on like their own platform. Was that it?
for an unexplained reason, Wolfenstein Youngblood remains available on the service, but everything else has been pulled off.
Licensing stuff.
So
was last time.
this is bullshit.
Exactly.
I love how it literally
You're not letting these people live, man. These people over at NVIDIA are just trying to do some good in the world.
I love how it says,
Nobody's
Blizzard-
licensing games out here.
I love how
I'm
it
sorry.
says Bethesda has been following Blizzard's thing of like pulling games off the cloud, Nvidia's cloud gaming service, and the next part says, comma and parentheses Haig thinks it's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
You wrote this.
That reminds me of what Eric does on Face Jam.
Ugh.
It's literally what he does.
Anyway,
Listen, I talked about this a little bit last week, but the fact that, like, NVIDIA's GeForce Now service is basically them charging me a fee to use their powerful computer over the internet to play the games that I already own on the platforms that they're available on. So the fact that they can pull these off and just be like, no,
That
you're
doesn't
not
work with
playing
that,
our
no.
games on their computer. You can only play your games on your computer. Is bullshit to me.
It makes no sense, man.
Second of all, they're not losing anything. Activision Blizzard doesn't have a service. Bethesda doesn't have a service. Neither of them are going to have services for a while. Actually, Bethesda had Bethesda talked about some cloud gaming thing at E3, but they don't have their own service still.
This is ridiculous, man.
Like, what are they doing?
Why?
All these companies want to pull out of GeForce Now. It's like, what are you talking about? I want to play the games that I bought on this computer.
Hey, money talks. So if they start assuming that this is a bad idea for them, once they start losing money, something's gonna change.
The funny thing is they're not losing money, and they're also not gaining any. They might be gaining some. The fact of the matter is they're not losing money at all, because you don't buy the games through Nvidia. You buy the games like you would if you were just playing them on your computer. If I want to play, if I wanted to play Overwatch on GeForce Now and I didn't own it, I'd buy it on Battle.net and then I play it on GeForce Now. Yeah, they're still getting all the money that I would pay for them.
Exactly. It's literally like, let's say
so it's just more annoying.
Yeah. I mean, it's annoying for us.
For us, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like, let's say I didn't have a powerful computer, but I wanted to play some games on PC. Let's say I just had my laptop here, and Haig has Monster Machine over here. I kind of want to play those games. I'm stream the video game from his PC onto mine, and then that's like Blizzard showing up at my door and being like, nah, that PC, that's over there.
Cheap.
This is your PC.
So it's very possible that they could lose some money, because there will be people that may have bought games that were enticed by that very feature, and now that you can't do that anymore, they're just like, all right, so these 3 games that I was going to buy, so I can do the thing you're talking about, now I can't do it anymore, so now I'm not going to buy this game. It's not going to impact them too much.
Yeah, but it ultimately just seems selfish.
But yeah, y'all are
doesn't
corny.
make any sense to me.
Y'all are corny for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'd be funny if the next company to do it would be EA. That would be hilarious.
It's funny because whether it be Bethesda, from what I remember, Blizzard or EA, I don't care about any of their games.
If these companies get too greedy, we're going to kill cloud gaming before it even takes off fully.
That's what I'm saying.
Oops.
Which isn't good, because
hey, yo,
we
Nvidia,
should have this.
go to these companies and take their graphics cards away.
Yo.
Grass cards.
Graphics
That's
cards.
what I heard.
Oh, my bad.
I heard grass.
Forget grass.
Like take the grass off their lawn.
I said
leave them,
graphics cards.
leave them only with dirt.
But
Imagine go walk up to Bethesda and be like, all right, give me your quadros back.
yeah, I'm gonna have to confiscate your graphics cards.
You're not being nice anymore.
Exactly.
Take away your toys. All right, it wasn't too much of that. I just wanted to go over that because it's bullshit to me, and I hope that no more companies continue to do that. All right, the next big story today is that several developers and publishers have begun to reduce their presence or eliminate it entirely from the upcoming PAX East, which happens this weekend, or GDC, which happens next month.
Yeah.
Due to the concerns surrounding COVID-19, better known as the coronavirus.
That's a way better name. We should just call it that.
What?
COVID-19.
No. I can guarantee you by the podcast that I'm not going to remember COVID-19.
I'm probably going to end up saying it a few more
name.
times, so...
Nigga, that's like saying we should call it Agent 626 instead of Stitch. It's like... Anyway, so Stitch.
Whatever.
All right, let me run through what happened this week, and then we can discuss I don't know if there's much to discuss, but I figure we should go over this because a lot is happening. A lot is happening. This started with Sony updating its blog post about PAX East, stating that they will be unfortunately pulling out of the event. Their statement said, quote, update. Today, Sony Interactive Entertainment made the decision to cancel its participation at PAX East in Boston this year due to increasing concerns related to COVID-19, also known as novel coronavirus. It's novel coronavirus. I don't know why, but that's what it is.
Yeah, because that's a better name.
We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. Following this announcement, about a day later, both Sony and Facebook Gaming, and in turn Oculus, which is the most important part of that, announced they would be pulling out of the Game Developers Conference, GDC, And that's coming from over Christopher Dring over at GamesIndustry.biz. Facebook's statement reads, out of concern for the health and safety of our employees, our dev partners, and the GDC community, Facebook will not be attending this year's Games Developers Conference due to the evolving public health risks related to COVID-19.
Yep.
We still plan to share exciting announcements around. We had to plan for the show through videos, online Q&As, and more, and we'll plan to host the GDC partner meetings remotely in the coming weeks. We continue to collaborate with UBM, GDC's parent company, and our partners, and thank them for their efforts. So
it's a big yikes.
So the good thing there is that Facebook is still going to have some of the resources they were going to have at GDC just through more online means. So that's cool. PlayStation's statement about pulling out of GDC was basically the same one as PAX, and they didn't announce anything about any potential extra stuff outside of GDC, so they won't be there either. And then a few other things happened here. So the article also mentions that China-based exhibitors have also had to either cancel their presence at GDC or send North American staff to run their booths. They said last week this has impacted around 10 of the 550 companies participating in the show. So a small number, but some of the companies are big, and there's more. There's a little more we'll talk about in a second. And then also this says here, like most event organizers, GDC are following government guidelines and protocols around the situation. It said that it is enhancing its sanitation procedures, including adding more hand sanitizer stations, using disinfecting electrostatic sprayers in high traffic areas, and cleaning the facilities more frequently. GDC organizers UBM is also working with the San Francisco Travel Association to ensure hotels are similarly expanding their hygiene protocols. And then they also say here, in a statement, we believe that based on the strict U.S. quarantine around coronavirus and a large number of enhanced on-site measures, we are able to execute a safe and successful event for our community. We're not done yet. Beyond this, Square Enix announced that it would be scaling back its PAX East presence due to the concerns. From an IGN article by Joe Screbbles, yeah, that's his last name.
Screbbles, man.
I know. Every time Greg reads that, he's like, "That's not a real name."
That's not a real name. Exactly.
And the quote from the article says, "While not pulling out of the show entirely, the company's Japanese staff will no longer be attending, meaning a panel session, developer signings, and developer photo ops, and a fan gathering will no longer take place at the show." So that's very unfortunate. Yeah. And I believe there's still going to be a Final Fantasy XIV booth or something like that, and a few other things, but they're scaling their presence back. And then we're still not done. It appears that the little presence that Capcom was going to have will not be there either. This is from a GamesIndustry.biz article by Rebecca Valentine. Capcom said in a tweet that while it would be continuing its planned Monster Hunter Festa event in Boston during PAX East, the developers from the Monster Hunter team would no longer be attending as originally planned. Capcom did not specify whether or not the cancellation was novel coronavirus related. When reached for comment about the reasons for their absence, Capcom referred the website back to the original tweet. So they won't even say if it's about the coronavirus. They won't even say no. So I assume that's probably what it is.
Weird.
And then finally, developer Kojima Productions is canceling its presence at GDC. A representative from the company said on their website, Kojima Productions has made the difficult decision to cancel our participation at the 2020 Game Developers Conference due to the increasing concerns related to novel coronavirus. Although much anticipated, unfortunately, this cancellation also includes Hideo Kojima's session on the 19th and Eric Johnson's session on the 16th. So that's unfortunate because they were going to have some cool panels over there.
Is there a reason to go to PAX?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like a lot of these companies pulled out. PAX and GDC are looking a lot less enticing.
One, a lot of companies pull out. Two, you might get coronavirus.
Yeah, couple things. So the reason why this is a concern is because you have developers and people from the companies coming from all over the world. So you don't know what they've been, where they've been, who they've interacted with. You don't know
how long it's been since they washed their hands.
Yeah, or even you could have people coming to the airport and perfectly fine and picking up a disease from somebody else in the airport and bringing it to the convention, and then it just spreads. So we don't know what's going to happen with that, obviously. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully no one gets sick, which I think is more likely than not, but there's always a concern. This isn't, a very subdued disease. It's starting to spread more and more. Though we've only had 53 cases in the, 53 cases in the U.S. And
is it the 53 or 58?
I don't think we've had a death here yet, so nothing crazy yet, but just trying to prevent the spread of the disease more so than anything, because we have pretty good health here, and it seems like this disease isn't super deadly, but at least to Americans. But you don't want to make it worse. So that's really unfortunate. But PAX and GDC are not looking as enticing as they once were. I know PAX East, you're probably going to have a hard time getting a refund if you already got a ticket because they suck. But
Wow.
I say that because last year when Colin Moriarty was supposed to have a panel there, and then they canceled his panel after initially accepting it, he tried to, or people were like, well, I was going to go see Colin's panel, can I get my money back? And they were just like, no.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
That sucks.
Cause
that shit's expensive.
And then one last thing, isn't a company pulling out. The mayor of Boston is pleading Sony to reconsider its decision to pull out of PAX East, saying that the fears around the coronavirus are fueled by confusion and a lack of information. And talking about how
forget Sony is okay. Nobody knows shit. It's fine.
they're talking about how he was talking about how it leads to an anti-Chinese sentiment, that there's a concern, like stereotypical concerns that are happening here.
Now we're not racist.
And he's basically calling them xenophobic in a way.
So
yeah, I'm diseaseophobic.
So you became
What's
mayor.
up?
So did you enter office as mayor stupid, or like did your advisors make you stupid? What happened to you?
Because this says these fears reinforce harmful stereotypes that generations of Asians have worked too hard to dismantle. They trigger our worst impulses to view entire groups of people with suspicion, to close ourselves off, and to miss out on the opportunities and connections our global city provides. Boston is united in our efforts to dispel these harmful and misguided fears. Listen, dude.
Yeah, miss out
First
on some
of all-
good disease.
Oh, so you are so. I guess like with my theories, the consistency is that now you are stupid, because the coronavirus is a thing that originated in China.
But the thing is,
The Chinese
it's not just the Chinese that are not coming to this event now.
The Japanese are not coming over.
Yeah, and they have a lot of issues too. They have a lot of cases as well.
There's a lot of people from a lot of different areas that are not China that are not coming here because of the coronavirus that originated in China.
Yes.
Unless you think every game studio is based in China.
The last part here is, as a large international company, you have an opportunity to set a good example. As a leader in technology, you can show that you are motivated by facts, not fear. As a leader in gaming and culture, you can show that you believe in connection, not isolation.
Okay, so wait, before I say anything else, what is he the mayor of?
Boston.
And just to check, PAX and GDC take place in Boston.
Yes. No, not GDC. PAX does.
Okay.
About PAX.
So I can read between the lines here. It's not hard. You want Sony to come. You want Sony to come here because more people want to see Sony, so they'll come to Boston, which means more tourism and money for you.
I mean, that's obvious.
That's exactly. There's no other reason.
You're not being slick here. You have to do maybe half a second of research to know that you're just bullshitting.
Yeah.
Literally, him opening his mouth, no matter what he says, is just confirmation of that.
Exactly.
And as mayor, that's normal. That's expected.
Yes.
That he would want as much attention for PAX and stuff, so there's more tourism, more financial stuff going on.
Yeah, but you're like,
But it would also
spreading a disease, hundreds of people dying. Fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Come spend money in Boston.
The concern about the coronavirus isn't like super great. It's not a huge pandemic or anything.
Yeah.
People are not dying left and right at least in the United States they're not, or at least in the West they're not. But we want to. They're concerned for their employees that come from all over the world, and they don't want an employee coming from Japan who contracts the coronavirus and then spreads it to their employees in the U.S. and then that person goes back to the U.S. offices and spreads it to the people in their office, and it just becomes a disaster.
Especially, and if
There's just a concern.
Especially like with the Asian countries, they're very like careful / superstitious. So like if you have a slight cough, put on the mask, take medicine, stay in bed, because they don't want to take the chance of you having something serious, you passing it around to everybody in the neighborhood.
Hey, from what I learned from anime, a common cold could kill you.
When my sister had a foreign exchange student, she got like a little sick. Like I'm pretty sure what she had wouldn't even prevent you from going to school. Mm-hmm. They had the other foreign exchange students as well as like their teachers coming over to check on her, taking care of her and stuff. And I'm just sitting in the room playing Zelda. I'm like, nigga, does she have like the measles or some shit? Like, and then that's when and then like Bradshaw like told us, and I was like, oh, I guess that's just how it is. I get it.
Yeah,
that's not how we treat it over here. But anyway, that was kind of a sidebar. So yeah, you don't care about games. Shut up. You just care about tourism. Sit down, shut up, listen to whatever your advisor says. And if your advisor told you should say this, get a new one.
To play a little bit of devil's advocate, yes, as mayor, you should worry about that. You should, hands down. But he shouldn't have like worded it like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. Nothing's happening. We got it." Like, at least show some concern. At least
compassion.
Bring some ideas to the table. All right, what if we did this to help? To like help not help, but
improve the situation.
Improve the situation.
Yeah, instead he tried to just basically call them xenophobes and say, you're scared of Asian people, even though you're an Asian company.
It's like you're daring us to come and get the virus. Like,
that, and unless I'm wrong here, y'all ain't in trouble. Y'all ain't in financial trouble. Y'all ain't financially desperate to get Boston booming again.
I'm saying,
shut up.
I think Boston's all right.
PAX ain't your only source of rep. Shut up. Go away.
What you call it?
Go to sleep.
So now, should you not go to PAX East or GDC? I don't think so. I think you're probably okay. Just take advantage of the hand sanitizer. Take advantage of just making sure you're keeping yourself hygienic. I think you'll probably be all right. They just have a concern for their employees, and it's ultimately up to you. You're not gonna be you're not taking that much of a risk if you go by yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really unfortunate. At first when I first saw that Sony was pulling out, I was kind of upset. I'm like, this is stupid. But then as I read some more, and it's like, well, they're just concerned with their employees. There's all the people come from all over different parts of the world, and I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Immediately, we don't want to. Immediately when I saw it, and it was like, it was because of the coronavirus. I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, I was like,
You don't want anything to get crazy.
There is, I believe, one case of the coronavirus in Boston, just one. That's it. So, hopefully nothing happens, and it's really unfortunate that Sony pulled out of PAX East at the very least, because they were going to have like a playable demo of The Last of Us Part 2 there. People were going to go play that. So people got tickets to go do that, I'm sure, and that they can't do that anymore.
Don't blame if you have to blame anyone, blame the Chinese government.
It's true.
Because I think it wasn't like early or mid-December, they were just like, hey, this disease exists, and they're like, nah, don't pay attention to him.
Chinese government.
Instead, look anywhere else.
A bunch of communists.
No, it's it's not a pandemic, but like now it's spreading and it's killing people, and people are like, how did it get to this point? And the doctors are like,
people are shaking in their boots, China. This is all your fault. All right.
Next.
Something I wanted to add to that related to the virus itself. The incubation period for this virus is crazy. Like, originally it was thought to be like 2 weeks, 14 days before you start seeing symptoms in people. Mm-hmm. But there was a case where it was almost a month for someone. It took 27 days for symptoms to show up after they had it,
Jesus.
Which is ridiculous. That's one of the big problems about it spreading, is like it can spread and you don't know.
Yeah.
And for like up to a month, it spread to so many more people And
Yeah, you
wouldn't
don't even know what happened, bro.
So that's one of the big problems
Dag.
with this virus. So yeah, avoiding spreading it is definitely
key.
Also, last thing, stop eating bats.
In soup.
Yeah, stop eating bat soup.
What the fuck's wrong with you, China?
Or if you do, stay far away from me.
Exactly.
Stay far. Go into the mountains.
This is how all this shit starts. We got the swine flu because people were doing some things they shouldn't be with pigs. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Though, lastly, and this is gonna be my last thing about the coronavirus, I feel it's also important to note that not that we're obviously we're not immune to it. 53 people have it.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier on us, like Westerners, because our immune systems are better than that of the people in
And we also have
the East.
we also have fairly good health care.
Yes, our healthcare is.
Well, healthcare quality is pretty solid. It's more so the fact that we can't. Well, not everybody gets it.
It's not affordable.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. In China and places like Japan and Korea and stuff, their healthcare as well as their immune system is not as good as ours.
Yeah.
So if you get the coronavirus, you don't need to worry as much as someone from those countries, though you still need to be worried.
Yeah, please go to the hospital if you do.
Yes. Oh my God. Don't be like, I'll be fine. Because number one, you don't know that. Number two, even if you are fine, cool. The 10 people you spread it to may not be fine.
Yeah, I mean, if I were sick and I had a concern about that, I'd probably go to a clinic and get checked up. If they think that would be it, then I would go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because you want that to first of all be known to the public so that you don't spread it, and then two, you want to obviously take care of yourself. The only real concern now is does this accelerate and affect other events like E3, like Tokyo Game Show, which we already talked about? I mean, like Gamescom.
Sony's already not going to be at E3, so
well, good for them.
We don't need to worry about that happening.
We still got a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Depends on how fast we can make a cure or a vaccine, whatever.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. And finally, probably the biggest payload part we actually have.
Oh, damn it.
Not in terms of reading per se. This is probably almost as long as the last one.
Yeah.
But bigger news. So, yesterday morning, Xbox announced a lot more details about the Xbox Series X.
Yay.
Some things we've already heard, some things some things that have already leaked, and things we never heard about. So, I'm going to go through the tweet thread here, which quickly describes everything, and then we can go into details. What I'll do is if you want, you tell me what you don't recognize or you don't know what the hell that means, and we'll go into it on the article that they posted because they explain things as well. So, it says power plus speed plus compatibility equals Xbox Series X, 12 teraflops and so much more. Discover what the next generation of gaming means to Xbox. Hashtag power your dreams.
I still completely forget what teraflops mean.
It's just a teraflop is just a way to measure computational power. It's like a big math number. Like things are. I accidentally did this.
Oh.
It's just like a big calculation that just it takes a number of factors and then puts it into one number.
Sure.
What's a good example of something like that?
12 teraflops is good.
GDP, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a combination of multiple values that you can then use to just rate things.
Yeah, basically.
So the Xbox One X was what six teraflops. So you just know based off of those values that the Series X is going to be twice as powerful in computational power.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's got 12 teraflops of power, which means it's double of what the Xbox One X has. I think they said it's about 8 point something times what the original Xbox is, so that's a lot. And then I saw something going around that there was a supercomputer that I think IBM used to manufacture 20 years ago that had 12 teraflops of power, and it cost $110 million to manufacture. So, we've come a long way. So, then this is what the thread says. We have 3 more tweets. With Xbox Series X, power means games that look incredible and feel alive. 12 teraflops, custom RDNA 2 and Zen 2 processor, variable rate shading, hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. So 12 teraflops, we know what that means. Custom RDNA 2 and Zen 2 processor. That just means that it's using the latest AMD technology. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Because Zen 2 is the latest chipset series that they're using for Ryzen, which is what I have in my... Well, I don't have Ryzen. I don't have Zen 2. I have Zen 1 in my computer. But yeah. And then RDNA 2 is the newest iteration of their graphics card architecture. So... and then of course it's custom because it's for the Xbox. It's not something you can buy on your computer. Variable rate shading is something that I haven't heard of before, so we're going to go through that real quickly. Let me pull this up. Variable rate shading or VRS, our patented form of VRS, empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power of the Xbox Series X rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen. They can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or important environmental objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on the final image quality. So, yeah, it's like a VSync of sorts in some ways.
Yeah.
Basically, it's gonna make it easier for developers, and it's gonna make it games will run better because of it. That's all we really need to know as a consumer. And then of course there's hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing, which you might have heard of because Nvidia started pushing that the past couple years on their graphics cards. It says you can expect more dynamic and realistic environments powered by hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing, or we refer to as RTX in the Nvidia world. A first for console gaming. This means true-to-life lighting, accurate reflections, and realistic acoustics in real time as you explore the game world. Do you know what ray tracing is or no? Like real-time ray tracing?
You told him before, but I guarantee he doesn't remember.
It's basically you're able to individually track objects in terms of lighting. And so lighting becomes a lot more dynamic, shadows, reflections. Like in Battlefield 1, with ray tracing on, there's this demo where they show you're near a car and there's a puddle of water on the ground and an explosion happens in the distance and you can see the explosion vividly in the puddle of water as you would in real life almost. And these kinds of things are more possible with real-time ray tracing, which takes an extra amount of processing power to actually do. That whole demo right there that Nico's looking at right now. So this is relatively new to the PC environment. It's only been out for less than 2 years. Yeah. So the fact that we're getting it on consoles already is awesome. So you'll see it says RTX on here, and if you guys want to check this out, just go look up RTX demos. You can find a bunch of different things. So you see reflections shining in the car. There's an explosion, and then I'm sure they're going to show it again with RTX off.
Yeah, they'll switch that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it also works for sound, real acoustics.
I mean, I get it. I get why that fire effect would look like that.
All right, next thing. So that's the first tweet or the second tweet in the thread technically. With Xbox Series X, speed means more playing, less waiting. Custom built SSD, which we knew about. Quick resume for multiple games, which we've heard of.
Yeah.
So you can now suspend multiple games in your console boot and then go right back into them as if you never left.
It's going to be really good.
You playing Halo Infinite. Actually, no. Let's do a different example. You're playing the new Senua's Saga game. You're playing through the single player, and your friends are like, "Yo, let's play some Halo. Let's get some multiplayer going." You're like, "All right." You pause the game. You minimize it. You open up Halo. You play some Halo with your friends. Your friends get off. You minimize it. You get back right back into the other game because it's still open.
Hopefully that doesn't affect performance.
No, I don't think it would. I think that's the whole reason why.
I think it matters on the game. I want to say if a game, let's say I don't know what it would be, but let's say you're playing a game that uses the full power of the console. I imagine you can't be running another game that uses a significant amount of power.
I mean, it suspends it, so it's got its own way of being able to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact technology.
Because on the current Xbox console, you can only do it with a game, and you can use programs like Spotify and all these other things in the background while not closing the game, but you can't do two games. So you can do two games now.
It might also depend on what's happening on screen in the game. So if there's a whole shit ton of visual effects and crap, minimizing it would probably
It would just stall all those things.
It would just stall all those things. So the console would be like, okay, there's like 18 visual effects happening on screen, and the player is in the middle of an action. So I have to hold all of this in place while also running this game, depending on how big it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they figured it out, considering that this is just how it is now.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's gonna be clean. And what I was gonna say was that makes it even better for when League comes to consoles, because you gonna be searching for a game and be like, I'm gonna play Call of Duty while the match is loading.
A little bit of Ori. No.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if they did like a thing where you could do like a picture-in-picture where you just see a little bit of one game in the bottom right-hand corner while you're doing, or if they had like a feature that they could build in where you get a. They used to have this on the original, on the Xbox One. Not many people used it exactly, but you could do a thing where it tells you when your match is ready if you're not on the game. I think it still does this in some games. I know it did it in like Forza races back in the day. I think it did it in Halo. If you minimize the game, it'll tell you your match is starting, and you go back into it. So yeah, as that. Okay, next, dynamic latency input. So this has to do with latency on the controller.
Yes.
So what it says for this, let me look. Dynamic latency input, DLI. We're optimizing latency in the player to console pipeline, starting with our Xbox wireless controller, which leverages our high bandwidth proprietary wireless communication protocol when connected to the console. With dynamic latency input, a new feature which synchronizes input immediately with what is displayed, controls are even more precise and responsive. So not too many details there. Basically means it's going to be better. Latency is going to go down even further. Microsoft, can you please help Nintendo out with that, because they don't know what they're doing.
Can you please help almost anyone who makes fighting games with that, because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
It's also true. Then we're going to have HDMI 2.1 available on the console, which allows for three other things: auto low latency mode,
Nudity.
variable refresh rates. Right. This is like an adaptive VSync, if you've ever seen that in a game, and then 120 FPS support, which you've also heard about in the past, but now we see it here.
Cool.
I can hook my my Xbox up to my PC monitors and play in 120 frames and be nice, optimized, and
So
delicious.
It says we've partnered with the HDMI forum and the TV manufacturers to ensure the best gaming experience through features such as auto low latency mode, ALLM, and variable refresh rate, VRR. ALLM allows Xbox One and Xbox Series X to automatically set the connected display to its lowest latency mode. You realize they mentioned Xbox One there too.
Just about to say.
So they're going to add that to the Xbox One, which is basically what it can automatically turn on Game Boy on your TV. That's basically what it's talking about.
Yeah.
Which can kind of happen now with like PlayStation and stuff like that too. VRR synchronizes the display's refresh rate to the game's frame rate, maintaining smooth visuals without tearing, ensuring minimal lag and the most responsive gaming experience. And then obviously it just says, with support for up to 120 FPS, Xbox Series X allows developers to exceed the standard 60 FPS output in favor of heightened realism or fast-paced action. And then finally, the other big thing is, I had to click on back on the link. Xbox Series X brings the next generation of compatibility. Play thousands of games across 4 generations that look and feel better than ever. So that's a confirmation that we do have full backwards compatibility with all Xbox consoles that we have and games that we have right now, which is what we expected, but we hadn't really heard them say it explicitly. And then the best part, Smart Delivery guarantees you're playing the best version of your game for your Xbox. So what this means is if a developer opts in to use Smart Delivery, that means you can, if you buy a game on Xbox, it's going to be the best version for the console that you're buying it for, and I think it always is what it is. Like you don't have to pay for multiple versions of the game.
So it like auto optimizes itself for
Basically.
For the console you're playing it on, whether it's the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, the X, or the Series X.
It says smart delivery. This technology empowers you to buy a game once and know that whether you're playing it on an Xbox One or on Xbox Series X, you're getting the right version of that game on whatever Xbox you're playing on. We're making the commitment to use smart delivery on all of our exclusive Xbox Game Studios titles, including Halo Infinite, ensuring you only have to purchase a title once in order to play the best available version for whichever Xbox console they choose to play on. This technology is available for all developers and publishers, and they can choose to use it for titles that will release on Xbox One first and come to Xbox Series X later. And right when these tweets went out, probably literally right around the same time, like minute-wise, Cyberpunk 2077 retweeted the tweet and said gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades. Owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available.
Ooh.
So they're setting a precedent. They came out and they said every game that uses smart delivery, which is a feature that any developer can use, will make it so that you just buy the game once and it works best on whatever console you're playing it on. Since we know we have forward compatibility now, and Cyberpunk is saying, hey, we're doing it as well. We're taking advantage of this feature immediately when our game comes out this September.
Let's get it.
So they're setting a precedent, and hopefully that means that this forces Sony to do a similar thing, which I think they will.
Yeah.
And this also hopefully forces companies to not feel greedy, like EA or somebody like that, to charge for the same game twice or charge for an upgrade patch or something like that. Because they can do that, because Xbox can't really force them to not do that. So, but they're giving them the option to make this a lot easier for everybody involved, and I'm happy about that for sure.
It's true.
Then they also talk about Xbox Game Pass real quickly, which is just reminding us that every first-party game that comes from Microsoft will be available on Xbox Game Pass the day that it comes out, which has been a thing for a couple years now. So, yep, that's a lot of stuff.
Awesome.
A lot of good stuff.
We covered it all. Now to fire out this news blast real quick.
Yes, sir. Let's get it
I'm very
going.
excited for that. There's one more thing I wanted to add real quickly.
Fuck. Okay.
This is unrelated. This is a few days before this announcement, but I want to throw it in here. Xbox Series X is supposed to have what will supposedly feature dedicated audio hardware acceleration. This is from...
You know I'm an audio guy.
It says the inclusion of audio hardware acceleration in the next-gen Microsoft console has been confirmed today by the description of a GDC 2020 presentation that will be held on March 18th, detailing the improvements of spatial sound. Microsoft senior technical audio specialist Robert Redalach, I don't know.
These people, man.
Get
new last names,
will
man.
also be present. It says learn about the audio designers of Borderlands 3 and Gears of War 5. Or learn from the audio designers of Borderlands 3 and Gears of War 5 around how a collaboration between Microsoft, Dolby, and our middleware partners kicked off a revolution with spatial sound that turns any pair of headphones into a multi-dimensional gateway to another world. Attendees will dive deep into the audio design pipeline, Project Acoustics, and the relationship to dedicated hardware acceleration on newer generation Xbox consoles. So they talked about that briefly there. This makes sense as well, since we've heard that that PlayStation 5 will also focus on a 3D audio thing as well. So we're getting some new audio improvements, which we haven't really gotten in a while on consoles. So that's pretty cool. You can already do like a Windows Sonic for headphones and Dolby Atmos stuff on Xbox, and you can do it on PC for sure. But it's gonna get even better now. And that's it. So it's we can move on to the news blast now and finish this boy up.
Look at this boy.
Don't say that.
Whatever that means.
Don't say that.
All right.
I'll let you have that.
I'm calling the government.
I'm calling the government.
All right, let's blast through this in order. Left to right from people's view.
So we doing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, let me skip to where I fuck.
All right. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass for console, Yakuza
I sleep.
0, Kingdom Hearts 3,
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 2,
I sleep.
Wasteland Remastered,
I sleep.
2 Point Hospital,
I sleep.
and Jackbox Party Pack 3.
Let's go.
That's it for the console.
Number 2, coming soon to Game Pass for Xbox Game Pass for PC, Yakuza 0.
Sleep.
Wow.
Wasteland Remastered.
Sleep.
Reigns, Game of Thrones.
Sleep.
2 Point Hospital.
Sleep
and
potion.
Indivisible.
That game's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I heard it's good.
It is damn good.
Alrighty.
All right, number 3. Nintendo Switch Lite is coming in a new color. Coral.
It's a pink color. It fits very nicely in the context of the other Xbox.
Oh, so
I mean,
cute,
Xbox
man.
thing.
It's all.
Call it.
Switch Lite color
What'd you
setup.
say?
Call of Duty.
Oh my god.
I'd get the. I'd have gotten the sky blue one.
Dude, I love the Switch Lite and how it looks. I kind of want one, but I'm obviously not going to buy one.
Nope.
It looks cool. I like the Switch Lite. It's $100 less. Yeah, that's a nice looking thing right there.
200 schmackers.
All right, Nico.
All right, The Witcher 3 on the Switch has a new update, fixing performance issues among other things, but most interestingly, it adds support for cross-save support with the PC versions of the game. So you can be playing The Witcher 3 on Steam on your home PC, and then you can go on the go with your Switch and play your save.
Aha.
Ah, nice.
So basically, this leaves you a way to get the best experience on your PC, but also when you want to play it on the go, you can.
what I
and I
just
believe.
I'm sorry.
Wow, that's so BF, man.
I just wasn't prepared for that. Nigga was upset. He's like, look, I'm tired of this. I will not sit down for this.
You okay, man?
Yo, say something.
What else is there to say?
So
The next thing on
We
the
already
news
said it
blast.
twice, apparently.
this
The next
isn't
thing
gonna-
on the news blast.
I was gonna add something.
God damn it.
So this is probably not going to come to the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game. That's what I was gonna say.
Look, if you already played it, you've already played it at this
I was like,
point.
bro, what are we even talking about?
That's
All right. Grand Theft Auto 4 is returning to Steam after being removed last month.
Oh.
This comes from Nibelian over on Twitter. Now called Grand Theft Auto 4 Complete Edition, though it's got less things in it, funny enough. So it's obviously dropping support for the long dead Games for Windows Live service
completely reduced.
from back in the Vista and 7 days. And as a result of that, there's no multiplayer in the game anymore. There is no multiplayer in GTA 4. There's no leaderboards. Some of the radio stations will be temporarily unavailable. I don't know why it says temporarily. I guess maybe they got to reacquire some licenses.
They have to license the word nigga again.
Wow.
And but of course, current save files are still compatible, and it just doesn't affect anybody who already owned the game. So it just gives them an update, I assume. So yeah, the game is back. So enjoy.
Go space.
Okay. Embracer Group, known as the holding company of THQ Nordic, has acquired Saber Interactive, the developers responsible for
Okay.
games such as World War Z, NBA Playgrounds, The Witcher 3's Switch support
Which we just talked about.
specifically, as well as
ported it.
assisting on several other projects around the industry.
Yeah, this comes from
This guy,
Indian name at Gaming Bolt.
dude, Shubhankar Parijat. Yo, I don't even know, bro.
Ask Addy.
Nigga, that's like
Change your whole name, man.
that sound like Indian Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know. Sure.
What? All right.
There's one more piece of detail.
Oh, I didn't even see that at the end. All
Winnie
right.
the Winnie the Parajet.
In addition to that, the deal has initial price of $150 million with an additional $375 million upon fulfillment of agreed milestones. Big monies.
Basically,
$525
if they do stuff, they get more money.
Yeah, they get the big bucks.
So it's like a total of 400 or 500 something million dollars.
Like the company you said.
Yeah.
So mind you,
Nah, this Shubhankar guy gets 500 million
He wishes.
with a
to
name,
change his name.
bro, with a name like that, $1 million for each letter.
Oh, man. All right.
But Just in case this gives you the wrong impression that game designers make millions upon billions of dollars. No, remember, the company is getting that. Most of that is going towards resources to making games.
Yeah.
Not to say that game designers make nothing.
And then a nice healthy paycheck for the CEO.
Healthy. Anyway. Coronavirus has been affecting the production sales of the Valve Index. Isn't that the cloud shit?
Schedules.
No, that's Valve's VR headset.
Right.
Schedules. You said sales.
Oops. Schedules of the Valve Index. Though Valve anticipates that there will be inventory back in stock in time for the release of Half-Life Alyx.
We got Alex.
Yeah, so there'll be some more in there. There'll be some more.
I got my Oculus. I'm good to go.
Yeah, in case you can't
That's
play
less than half
Alyx.
away.
It is.
Yes, sir.
That's one more headset that I don't have.
Last thing here for today's podcast, everyone.
I actually got one more thing I added on.
Oh my
afterwards.
god.
It's very small though. Go ahead.
Damn.
Oh yeah, no.
Do I need to read the bold?
You can mention it basically.
The importance of this quote may be diminished by the most recent Xbox news. CTO of 4A Games, developer of the Metro series, expressed in a recent interview, quote, "I am more excited for not yet publicly revealed things," close end quote, when discussing the possibilities of next-gen hardware. This adding more fuel to the claims from Sony that the more interesting features of next-gen have yet to be revealed.
I put this quote might be diminished because we just talked about a bunch of things today that were announced from Xbox. So some of those features might have been those things that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Since this quote is from before that, but we don't know for sure because Sony says they got things up their sleeve. So
I hope so.
Maybe they still do.
Let's get it.
We don't know though.
All right.
And finally, I learned this yesterday. That's been added an update. You can now finally press X on the Xbox home menu to eject a disc in your console.
Yes.
It took them 6 years. That was a feature on the 360. And it took them 6 years to add it back to the Xbox One.
Hey, look, Microsoft out here pushing innovation. You know. I couldn't even say that with a
It took them so long to add that shit back. I've been wanting that feature since I got my Xbox One, and they haven't added it till now.
Y'all niggas trash.
We out here. It's fine.
You're all out here after 6 years. Don't even.
We finally out here. That's all that matters. All right, that's gonna be it for episode 19 of the Market Podcast. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember to give us a like on the video if you enjoyed yourself and comment. We want to hear y'all's opinions on today's topic. Subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget, some of you bozos are sitting there wishing you could listen to the show while you're doing your homework or on the road, whatever you get into. Look no further. We're on a number of podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, etc. All links are down in the description below. Same goes for you audio listeners. If you want to see anything from the episode, hop over to the YouTube at Black Market Gaming. Show you boys some love, man. We out. Bye.
See you guys next week.
What we got now?
I remember, if y'all ain't watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna go to your house, delete all of your alarms that you have to wake up in the morning, and then I'm gonna replace the ringtone with a bass boosted version of the Rainbow Monkeys song from Codename Kids Next Door. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up, because that's gonna be your alarm from now on.
Bro.
After I've deleted the ones you already have.
That reminds me, Kenyatta, a couple of days ago, had to wake up for work, and apparently he set too many alarms in his phone, so the alarm that he set to wake up for work just didn't go. And so he woke up around 6:14 or something, like, let's see where I am. Probably woke up a little
Wow.
They were like, you have to be there by 6, so he just called out.
And that'll be you if you don't watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube. So make sure you do that. Thanks everyone for watching. Goodbye.
Even if you remember to reset your alarm, ringtone's already there. The alarm tone's already there.
It's unfortunate.
It's too late.
And it's already bass boosted.
Say goodbye.
Come on.
Goodbye, everyone.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Can you imagine leaving a nigga's house and be like, how's it going? Door.
Yo, end the podcast, bro.
Just be like, what?
Goodbye, everyone. See you all in therapy.